All right. So this is going to be for Frosty Dawn. Um, I did make a 45-minute long version of this video, but it honestly doesn't take that long. It takes maybe 10 minutes to get an animation in at most. So we're going to go to our animation file. That's module animations. And you can choose to add your animation in one of two spots. So this is the animation we're adding. We can add it here during these unused human animations. So at the end of the animation file, there is 100 unused 100 animation entries that were added for you to expand. There was a hard-coded animation array, and that was it. I don't know when they did it, but they've made it where animations outside of these two hard-coded arrays, so outside of the human and horse arrays, still work. So if we add an animation to the bottom, it'll work just fine. No errors, no issues. Don't worry about it. So that's what we're going to do, because that is a safer place to do it. If you do it inside of the animation array and say you forget to override the animation you're replacing or something like that, it will cause bugs and it will really mess up the game. So adding it after the two hard-coded arrays is totally safe. So we're going to do this camp idle here. We're going to go into the animation entry, and this is in Berserk. These animations were all created by my dear friend Aro, Aaron, whoever. He's a talented animator. I try to call him into this chat prior. Maybe he could do this before I could, but anyway. We're going to add this kneeling animation. So we're going to copy the animation name, hit F2 to bring up renaming, Control C to copy the name perfectly. And we will, so this is the animation ID, the animation flags, animation master flags, and then the animation, what do they call it? Animation resource, animation sequence. So animation sequence goes time of animation, name of animation in BRFs, start frame, end frame, resource flags, various other flags. So this is the short version. I will link to the longer one. I go into too much detail about the headers. All we're going to do here, we're going to make sure we want enforce all, because when this animation is playing, we want it to play on both the upper and lower body, regardless of which one we played on. A note, enforce all will play an animation on the legs if you play it on the upper body, but the leg animations can be overridden by walking animations. So it's always best to play enforce all animations on the lower body, unless you want it to allow you to walk around while you're doing it. So I will show you the difference now. We'll go to module mission templates. So 0 is legs, 1 is upper. So we're going to comment out this upper. Pardon me. I should have grabbed water between recording both these because I'm an idiot. We're going to compile very quickly using rec. I use rec 1.0 because I am afraid of new things. I am repeating jokes between videos because I'm an awful person. So we're going to go to the Lord's Hall. Control Shift Space is how I'm triggering that in animation. So kneel, beautiful. It's in, it's perfect. It's gorgeous. I forgot to restore, didn't I? Oh no. Did I forget to put a priority? I did forget to put priority. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's what was going wrong the first time. So an important part of any animation entry, probably the most important part of any animation entry, is priority. So animation priorities will allow you to kind of dictate a flow chart in a way. So let's go to module animations. I can't read, so this is gonna be hard for me. There we go. So this ACF flags, these are animation flags. We're gonna go to header animations. This is one I wrote. It'll be linked in the description. Don't assume any of this information is correct. Excuse me. So these are the flags that go in that first group. Most of them are kind of useless to you. Enforce all is very important. Parallel for look slope is also important. as well as these rotation flags in conjunction with parallel slope. This will allow you to create like an aiming animation with bow, or like an attack animation kind of with sword. Bow will perfectly align your upper body to your look vector. Sword does a kind of awkward blend. I don't really ever find a use for brought vertical sword. I always brought vertical bow. It does kind of look janky. I do have a example already pulled up. So this animation has both parallel for look slope, because we want to look where we are throwing, and wrought bow. So you can tell because this is perfectly the upper body channel is perfectly aligned with our look vector. And it creates this ugly thing here. But you don't want your player's throw to be off, so you want it to be perfect, so you'll have to kind of accept that. But so here, go wrong one. This is where ACF flags go. Here's where AMF flags go. I call them master flags. I don't know if that's true. But priority, very important. Priority animations will only play if they are of higher priority than the current animation. Stand is 0. So everything will play on top of a stand animation. And then after you let go, or after the animation stops, it goes back to the stand animation. That's the default. So by having a priority of 0, it will always defer to other animations. Same thing with like jump is priority 2. We can check our priorities at the very top of this file. The priorities are not hard-coded. They are simply integer values, where bigger is has higher priority. So jump, if we were to attack, that's why we can attack in the air, because it has a higher priority than jump. If you were to raise jump's priority to say 12, you wouldn't be able to attack, but you would still be able to take damage, or you'd still be able to play a knockback animation, because striked has 80 priority. So something of higher priority than that, like fall from horse, you cannot interrupt a fall from a horse, because the only thing of higher priority than fall is death. So death has the highest priority, because you don't want to ever have someone get up from the dead, unless you do, in which case you need to set a priority higher than death. It's kind of like, I can only jump when I'm standing, because stand is 0 priority. If I want to have something interrupt an attack, I need it to have higher. But if I want something to be interruptible by an attack animation, like say a feint, or not feint, like a taunt animation, I could put a priority of 5 on the taunt, and then that way I can then hit an attack key and have that attack interrupt that taunt. So initially I had forgot to set the priority, so my kneel was allowed to be interrupted by the walk, or by anything. So by setting a priority higher, this one's priority is now, I think, kick. That way I cannot get out of it by defending or attacking. Maybe I would want to be able to defend myself while in that position. I set it to 12, whatever. But it's funny that this is my short version of the video. I'm still rambling and going off on tangents, because I'm extraordinarily talented. But so we have these flags. AMF play is very important if you're going to play an animation through operations such as agent set animation. It needs a play. Other animations can get around it because they are either continued to by using AMF continue to next, where it'll continue to the next animation ID after completion, or being hard coded. But we don't really have that luck. Like if we were to say set an agent's stand animation to this kneel, we wouldn't need AMF play, but we are going to do it via code, so we need AMF play. AMF keep by itself will hang on the last frame. So in this entry, we have 159 frames. If I use AMF keep by itself, it would hang on frame 159 here, or 60. I've never honestly known which. I always use these intervals. Could be these intervals. I couldn't tell you. But so that one's fine. But like here, if I did like, let's do modifier. So like say I had this one as the end frame, he would freeze there if I had AMF keep and I had frames say 0 through 19. AMF keep would hit him here until he plays an animation of higher priority. But if I put AMF cyclic or ARF cyclic as part of the animation resource flags, he would loop. So keep plus cyclic equals loops. Very important. A cute little hot potatoes jump. We're doing Neil right now. So Neil is 159. I'm assuming my animator animates at 30 frames per second. So 159 divided by 30, 5.3. So is that true? Why did I put 5.9? 5.6? Bro, sometimes I worry about myself. Sure, 5.6, whatever. This is the animation name in the BRF, so that's why I hit F2, that's why I hit Control C, that way there's no ambiguity. Starting frame. So I want to start on frame 0, but if I wanted to say start here, I would put frame, like I said, that's my fault, I hit stop. If I want to start here, I would put frame 20. And then stop here, frame 35 is the second number. So if I did 20 through 35, it'd play only those 15 frames. Animation resource flags are also in header animations. Stand progress, I assume, works through a counter that the agent keeps personal to itself, that it stores at what percentage of the stand animation it is currently performing. That way they aren't all in sync with one another. ARF cyclic, as I said earlier, will work with keep to loop an animation. These ones, this is a pack. This is an offset thing. If you use AM or ARF offset position, this would be fed into that as the final position of the agent for allowing for displacement. So if I had a jump animation that sent me a meter in the air, I could put 0, 1, 0, and that would displace my agent 1 meter wide. That's vertical. That's forward. That's not even up. But if I put 1 here, I've had displaced position, my agent would be displaced 1 meter at the end of the animation. This supposedly is a percentile chance of having that animation chosen. I don't know if I believe that. I don't believe that at all. It's actually a ragdoll delay. I think it's just kind of like a perception that it could be used for. I think it's because but these don't add up to be 1. These add up to be 1.25. So I don't know why these ever came up as percent chances. I'm talking about very old form posts. I should let it go. But yeah. So sound timing. Sound timing is if you had, I think it's ARF, make walk sound or something of the sort, by putting like 0.5 here at halfway through the animation, I'd play the walk sound. You can also use pack 2f like 0.1 comma 0.5, and then at the 10% of the animation completion, I would play a sound, and then again at 0.5. No, that's important with what we're doing here. So yeah, super quick to create an animation. So let's actually do one very quickly just to show that I am not just full of it. So we will go to what's staggered? Well, does not look staggered. Too long. Okay, same throw right. So for righties, we throw this. So we're gonna copy this. AMF priority kick is perfect play. We don't need it to keep, so we're gonna erase keep. We're going to I'm too lazy to type. Put that there. Let's open you back up. 49 frames. So we'll say 1.1. 1.1. We said 49 frames. We won't use stand progress. We don't need cyclic. Let me see, because I'm sure there are flags I need there. No, no, header operations, header animations. Looking for animation resource flags. No, I don't need any of those. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, and then we're going to save. We're going to build. Oh no, not camp idle. Let's stand righty. We're going to copy that. We're going to go back to this mission template. We're now going to play sand righty when I press control space, control shift space. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to restore module data. We will go to Lord's Hall, control shift space. There it is. And that's how I add an animation. Pretty easy. Literally, you can get it done in seconds. So that one, I have enforce all, and I'm playing on the legs, and it has a high priority, so I can't really walk through it. But I have this one, where it does not have enforce all, and it only plays on my upper body, but it does have a lower body portion. But if I'm walking, he just plays the upper body portion, because the lower body, there's the enforce all. I think it's, yeah, I think it has enforce all, but I can't recall. Anyway, neither here nor there. Oop, wrong one. Sorry, I meant to kick. So this will has the same priority as the kick, so it will not be interrupted by the kick. Has higher priority than attacks, so it'll interrupt attacks, interrupt defends. Pretty simple stuff. So adding an animation is not very difficult. You just have to make sure you have the animation in the BRF, make sure the BRF is loaded, figure out your timing. I think what is the animation time here? I think it's going a little fast, making it look a little jank. So I'd probably extend this time a little bit. And then we can try it again. Control Shift V. No, Control Shift N reloads animations. I don't know if that actually... Oh yeah, it does really reload the animation file without having to restore animation things. That's interesting. Huh. That's cool. I didn't know Control Shift Control Shift M will reload the animation file. So that's so fun because it's switching my chosen walk and stand animation at random when I'm doing that. But yeah, you can load it without having to hit restore module files, which is has a chance of crashing because of all the running variables. But excellent. That was the quick version. I will link the long version. It is twice as long because I go off on tangents, as you saw in this video. I also repeat jokes, and I go over the header file. So important stuff there. You want to hear the original version of those jokes. They were much better the first time. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped. If it didn't, I am sorry. But I mean, honestly, I'm not that sorry. I do hope it helps, though. I do. You can always ask any questions you want here in the Discord. I will be here. Others will be here. The community is very helpful, and I hope this video was of help as well. Thank you so much for watching.